Hello and welcome to Powerlinks. I am Bolanle Oluchi Babalola. Nasarawa State, the youngest state in Nigeria, was the last to be announced during the last state's creation exercise in 1996 by the then military administration of General Sani Abacha. Its long-standing unique history of desire for self-rule and rapid economic and industrial development gave impetus for the creation of the state 21 years ago. With this piece of history, it is pertinent to say that power sector and collective energies of the people remain the foundation upon which the dream can materialize. Oh, what is the situation like for the state which prides itself as the home of solid minerals and as a strong agricultural base of Nigeria? In this edition, we have the story of interventions by the National Integrated Power Project, NIPP, in Nasarawa State to bring it at par with its peers in power sector infrastructure development under the new focus of the Buhari administration. But first, let us hear more on the background story from my colleague.
According to findings, Nasarawa State is supplied by 132 kV line from Katampe, Abuja. This line has transmission station in Karu, supplying Nyanya, Mararaba area on 33 kV/11 kV line. This same line supplies Kefi. There is another transmission station in Kefi, which is stepped down to 33 kV and then to 11 kV. The transmission station continues to Akwanga, where there is another transmission station. The line between Akwanga and LAFIA, which is 33 kV line, was constructed about 34 years ago. That line was constructed when LAFIA was just a local government area. At this time, there was no much development in LAFIA. With the additional Toga as the state capital, the attendant economic growth within LAFIA and adjoining communities, the line to LAFIA from Akwanga, which is of 55 kilometers, is overstretched with voltage drop. Similarly, the LAFIA line supplies Awe with distance of about 95 kilometers. It is also this line that supplies Doma Axis and Agyaragu, as well as Ubi Town. All these account for the low voltage of electricity in LAFIA and environs. Efforts to improve the fortunes of supply to LAFIA in particular, with the extension of 132 kV line from Akwanga, was abandoned ostensibly due to lack of funding to complete the project. It is also to be acknowledged that successive governments of Nasarawa State have initiated and implemented unique approaches of tackling challenges of infrastructure in the power sector within the circumstances of time and resources.
For Nasarawa State, LAFIA is perhaps the only state capital in Nigeria lacking tangible connection on a befitting and efficient power supply. Indeed, This is the most challenging situation for a state which is in a hurry to justify the goals of founding fathers. But is the government aloof? What are the new strategies to assist the states under the NIPP and other agencies' intervention programs?
Of course, we are engaged in housing, thanks to you, and work is also going on a pilot housing program. We are equally engaged here in the area of power. We are engaged with one of your partners, Afri-Niger, trying to do solar, and we are doing our best to ensure that the regulatory compliances and approvals that they need are completed timeously to allow that proceed. But more importantly, what brings us today is our monthly power meeting, during which we look at what the local issues in the states that host us are. Some of the local issues that we will look at today are the LAFIA TCN substation, which I visited sometime in 2016, if I recall correctly, and to assess the progress. The managing director of the NDPHC, who have primary responsibility for that project, will update you on the timelines for completion. There is also the 132 by 33 kV TCN substation, whose transformer capacity we have expanded from 30 MVA to 90 MVA by adding another 60 MVA transformer. Now, I think we will switch on that today.
I want to thank you and thank Mr. President and Mr. Vice President for making it possible for us to benefit from this robust power infrastructure of 330 kV. That, to me, is all that is any state can aspire to get, because I don't think there's anything more robust than that. And for us to be one of the beneficiaries of this great infrastructure, I want to extend my sincere appreciation and that of the people of Nassarawa State to Mr. President and this administration. I would also like to thank you for considering the 132 kV that is supposed to transport the power from Akwanga to here, so that it can be able to utilize the 330 kV. Some of these issues are so technical that I may not be competent to say it all, but in summary, the issue about 330, the issue about the substation we're going to commission today, and also the Akwanga project that is supposed to utilize the 330, things that we hold very dear to our hearts, because we believe when these projects are completed, the South State will be on the pedestal for industrial excellence.
With the courtesies over, the ministers and governor proceeded to the satellite community of Akurba to monitor progress of work on the highest voltage level 330 kV substation by the NIPP. The station is aligned with the power evacuation transmission line from Ikotepene in Akwa Ibom State through Enugu, Makurdi, and terminating in Jos of Plateau State. When completed, the project will be providing lasting solution to the low voltage problem in LAFIA, the state capital. The station can also backfeed Akwanga, Kefi, and Karu, as well as Abuja from LAFIA on 132 kV.
has a new injection substation constructed by the NIPP. Its configuration is 2 by 7.5 MVA transformers, lines and supply transformers. To break the technical terminology down, the substation is strategically expected to boost supply to the consumers.
The station is of the NIPP distribution infrastructure network in parts of the country. With this new development, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company is expected to take over and manage operations of the station.
It is an honor and privilege to commission this edifice, this much cherished infrastructure for the benefit of the people of LAFIA and Nasarawa State at large. I pray that this will be the springboard for industrial excellence in Nasarawa State.
A day earlier, on a visit to monitor readiness of the project, the governor describes it as a New Year gift to the people of the state. Meanwhile, before the technical session of the 23rd meeting, usually behind closed doors, the minister engaged high-ranking traditional rulers and other people of the state on the initiatives by the Buhari administration of addressing power, road, and housing infrastructure needs of Nasarawa State.
I can tell you that work is progressing on the local Oweto Bridge that will ultimately connect Nasarawa State to Benue State. I can tell you also, financing arrangements have been concluded for the expansion of the Kefi, LAFIA, Akwanga Highway all the way to Jos. I can also tell you that in terms of housing development, our pilot housing project is underway. Construction has started, and what remains is to complete the infrastructure and the electricals and mechanicals. The same thing can be said for the Federal Secretariat project in Nasarawa State. We have inspected the progress of work at the 330 by 132 kV line, bringing in power into Nasarawa State to expand the scope which the Honorable Commissioner mentioned about, so that in the fullness of time you will have power on a turn-in, turn-out basis from the national grid. I am happy to say that the contractor on site, and he tells me and the governor that in this year that project will be completed.
That will benefit not only LAFIA, the state capital, but Nasarawa State in general. It may surprise you to note that there is no any more robust infrastructure that one can boast of in the country more than the 330 line. And with this, we can rest assured that LAFIA, the capital of Nasarawa State, and indeed the state as a whole, will benefit tremendously on this power infrastructure. I would also like to say, as a state that is being cherished by this administration, we have even got more than what we requested for. The federal government, under the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari, has also considered the erection of power line of 132/33 MV, which will step down the heavy power that's coming from 330. This in addition with other expansion programs in Kefi, 60 plus 30 kVA, among so many others.
What do the people say? First to speak is His Royal Highness, the Anduma of Duma.
Power is the lifeway of any society. Without power, 85% of the life of any community is grounded, especially in the modern world, where everything is centered around technology, science, inventions. The best of every people is when it meets the tide of time in knowledge creation, knowledge use, and its associated benefits to humanity. In Nasarawa State, this is an opportunity to restore our faith in life. The absence of adequate electricity in Nasarawa State has been a major hindrance to our creativity, inventions, and contribution to the national economy.
For a very long time now, LAFIA has had a very poor supply of power. And I think with this commission today, it's going to boost power supply. And small-scale business people and women will also benefit from it. But those who do barbing, those who do welding, and those kind of jobs, I think they are going to enjoy this. And I think the economy of the state, particularly the state capital, is going to boost. So we are quite happy with this commission.
Provide electricity to the various areas, even the university community, and now Konza and the rest of these areas. Although the problem of the blackout by today is going to be over.
Stepping down this power supply for us in LAFIA and its environs, it is a problem that we have been facing. Power failure. It has been a menace that has been militating against development in Nasarawa State. And this, what has happened now, will help boost the development and also commercial activities in Nasarawa State.
In terms of power, I would say it has not been too wonderful. It hasn't been too wonderful. It has been giving us serious headache. Serious headache. We run on diesel for a long time, and the diesel isn't also cheap, equally very expensive. So it's been very tough with power. Enough, I believe, to make anybody run out of business. Yes, but by God's grace, we kept on pushing. But then, miraculously, all of a sudden, the power sector in terms of lights, NEPA, has improved significantly. Significantly. We have light almost 24 hours nowadays. For the past couple of months, we've had steady supply of light. Yes, so, but I still have a problem. In as much as the supply has increased, the tariff has also shot up so much. It has skyrocketed, and it's still a problem.
The policy of this administration is to ensure that development and at least modernization reaches deep into all our communities and across the state. And of course, you know, the direct connection and link between electricity and industrialization, electricity and comfort, electricity and peace. Now, the government of Nasarawa State realizes also that on matters of electricity, it can't do alone, particularly in view of all the recent laws and reforms in the electricity sector and the power sector, which requires or rather transfers most of the powers to the private sector and the federal government. So what the state government tries to do as much as possible is to partner
with the DISCOs, the GENCOs, and the federal government agencies responsible for provision of electricity.
Well, it is apt in the saying that the voice of the people is the voice of God, and particularly pleasing to the administration of President Buhari about the hard work it is doing in keeping promises. From all of us here, we greatly value and appreciate your time with us on the program. Remember, you can interact with us via our social media platform on your screen. Till the next time we see you again, bye for now, and thanks for staying tuned to the program. I am Bolanle Oluchi Babalola.